Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a design in Cricut Design Space, and we're going to be using a couple of fonts from defont.com. So I'm going to show you the font to be using. So we're going to be using, and again I'm on defont, DAFONT.com, and these fonts are free. So we're going to be using this dripping by Woodcutter. We're going to use that, and we're also going to be using the Woodcutter dripping and then a dripping marker. Now I'm going to download this dripping horror just so if you're new and you don't know how to download a font or upload a font to your computer, excuse me, I'm going to show you how to upload a font to your computer. But if you are familiar with how to upload a font to your computer, then you want to go ahead, if you want to do this design with me, you want to go ahead and download dripping, a dripping marker, and woodcutter dripping. Okay, so I'm going to download the horror one because I don't think I have that one. So here we go, dripping horror. So the first thing you'll do is go over to the right and you want to select download. And it's going to put a little file folder in the bottom left corner. You want to click on that little folder. And these instructions, I'm using a laptop, okay? And it's going to bring that folder up for you. And what we're going to do here is we're going to select this folder just by clicking the name, and we're going to select extract all. Now some people will have an extract all here, sometimes they'll have theirs somewhere in here, sometimes you have to right click and select extract all, but you want to locate the extract all and click it. Now when you click the extract all, it's going to open up the little file folder so that you can extract this compressed zipped folder in order for you to be able to use it. Okay, so you can put this anywhere on your computer. You can create a font folder. Hold on 1 second here. So I have a font folder. You can create a font folder to put your fonts in. It's all up to you. So you just select wherever you want to put that font, and then you want to click extract. Now when you extract it, it's going to open up another screen for you with the extracted file. Excuse me, I got a cold. Okay, it shouldn't take that long to come up. Let's double click it and see what happens. Okay, so what you're going to be looking for is you're going to, after it extracts and you've saved it somewhere on your computer, you want to double click it and you want to select install. If you do not select install, that font is never going to show up on your computer. Okay, so you have to click install. And you're going to get just a little message that'll say this font is installing. It's not going to do anything else, and then you just click off of it, and it only takes a hot second. So mine is done, and I'm just going to exit out of it. And now I have installed the Dripping Horror on my computer. Now when I go to Cricut Design Space, that font is not going to be here, and I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to type in U, and then I'm going to go look for a Dripping Horror. And you see it's not there. I only have a dripping marker. So in order to get that font to where you can use it inside Cricut Design Space, I'm going to give you a couple of instructions here. So number one, if you have something that you're working on inside Cricut Design Space, you want to save before you do this next step. So you just go and click Save. If you're not working on anything and you just opened up Cricut Design Space, then you want to go up to your menu and you want to select View and Reload. Now, the reason you want to save first if you're working on something is because Cricut is going to give you a blank canvas if you did not save. If you saved, then it's going to just bring you back to your saved project. Okay, so you don't want to lose any work because you didn't save what you were working on before you did this step. Now when I go in and I type in U, and type in U, now when I go and look for that font, here it is, Dripping Horror. Okay, so that is how you upload a font to your computer and then install it in Cricut Design Space so you can use that font inside Cricut Design Space. So one of the ways that you can tell what fonts you've installed in Cricut Design Space is to click on System. And when you click on System, it's going to show you all of the fonts that you have uploaded to Cricut Design Space. So these are all fonts that I've uploaded to Cricut Design Space. These fonts did not come with the Cricut Design Space software. Okay, so just put that out there. And then if you want to see only the fonts that belong to Cricut, then you just click on Cricut. And these are all the fonts that came with Cricut Design Space. And if you don't really care, you just want to search for all fonts in Cricut System or Cricut, then you click on All, and it'll give you all of your fonts. Okay. Now, if you're looking for a font, like if I type in Dripping and I have it on System, if I exit out here and I'm looking for fonts and I can't find what I'm looking for, make sure you have the right one selected. It's best to use all, that way you find everything, but if you know specifically that that is a font that is a system font, you can narrow your search by using System or Cricut. Okay, so we're going to go out of that. All right, so what we're going to design today is we're going to design an image that we can put on a t-shirt or a mug, whatever you choose to do with it, okay? So we're going to start out with a couple of images, or not a couple of images, but an image from Cricut Design Space. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for some lips. I'm just going to go to image here, images on the left side, and type in lips and click the magnifying glass. Okay, so you can select whatever lips you so choose for this project. I think I'm going to go with, let me make sure I click on Cricut Access. so that I only get the fonts that belong to Cricut. So I think I'm going to choose these lips right here. So these are free, and the image number is M as in Mary, F as in Frank, 72755, and I think that's an O, not a 0. And I'm going to select that and click Add to Canvas. All right, so now I have the lips that I want to work with. And next, I'm going to type in dripping. Nope, not dripping, dope. I'm going to type in dope. Okay. Now you can make this say whatever you choose to. Mine is going to say dope black girl. And so that's why I'm using the word dope, but you can have yours to say whatever you like. And I'm going to change this from a dripping horror to the woodcutter. So I'm using woodcutter dripping. And that's my woodcutter dripping. And actually, I'm going to leave the O out because my lips are going to replace the O. So I'm going to give myself a little room there to pop the lips in like that. Now you want to make sure that you highlight them all, and on the right side select group. And now you have dope with lips as your O. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is I want you to just click on a text and just type in any letter. It doesn't matter what letter it is. I just typed a P. And this time we're going to use the dripping effect. So you want to go back up to your font, and this time we're just going to type in dripping. And we're going to use this effect here, dripping. Now, there are fonts that are available inside, or characters that are available with your fonts when you upload them to Cricut Design Space, but you don't get all of the font effects in Cricut Design Space. So what you have to do is, using your laptop, in the bottom left corner, you have to go to your magnifying glass and type in character map. And when you do that, you're going to click to open up the character map. And I'm going to show it to you here. This is your character map. Okay. So you would select the character map, and then you want to find the font for dripping. Okay. So we're just going to click on this little drop down arrow here, and we're going to look for dripping. I can't see. Okay, there we go. I went all around it. All right, so this is the dripping font. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little character here. You can see I've played with it before. So I'm going to show you how you get one of these characters. So first of all, you can click them just to see what they look like, to determine which one you want to use. When you figure out which one you want to use, you want to make sure you just click it and then come down and select and copy. Okay. And then we can minimize that. We're going to go back to where we type that one little P, and we're going to click inside the box, and on your keyboard you're going to hit Control V as in Victor, and then you can remove that P that you typed in. That was just your placeholder for the font. Now I'm going to unlock the proportions here on the left side so that I can drag this over. And I'm going to have this to line up with my dope, but I don't want it like this. Now you can do it like that to take up the dripping effect on the dope, but I'm not going to do that. I want mine to be dripping. And I'm just going to drag it over like that. So now we have dope and the dripping. So what you want to do now is you want to drag this down. Once you get it the height that you want it, you want to drag it down some. And that's because we want to kind of thicken this up for what we're going to put inside or slice inside. Okay, so have it like that. All right, so now we're going to go back over to the left. We're going to click on text again. And this time you can type whatever you want to cut. Yours could be dope black girl, dope black man, dope black guy. It could be dope guy, dope girl, and you don't have to reference it with black. That's just what I'm going to be putting on my shirt. All right, so this is looking weird because we have the dripping effect. So we're not going to use the dripping effect here. This time we're going to go and we're going to use a dripping marker. I think that's the one I'm going to use. And we're going to select a dripping marker. And we're going to take this and I'm just going to put it in white just so you can see it. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the center here. And then I'm going to highlight the font for Black Girl and the dripping effect. And I'm going to come down to my bottom right and I'm going to select Slice. And what that's going to do is it's going to slice the word Black Girl into my dripping effect. So now when you look over to the right, you can see what part you need to get rid of the slice. So we don't need the Black Girl font. We're going to go ahead and delete that. And we also don't need it in just the black. So we're going to delete that. And now we have Black Girl sliced into the dripping font. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to show you two ways that you can take this to the next level if you so choose. If not, then you're good. But we're going to go ahead and highlight everything and we're going to select group. And that way, oh, let me ungroup mine for a second because I don't want my lips to touch this part. I don't want my lips touching. So let me ungroup this and move my lips. Move my lips. Move my lips. Okay, now that's better. I don't want my lips touching. I want it to be known that they're my lips. Okay, so now I'm going to highlight everything and group. And you can do the lips however you like. You can flip it where the lips go the other way. Totally up to you. You can use a different set of lips. You do not have to use the ones that I'm using. All right, so now that I have this in Dope Black Girl, what I would highly recommend is that you save this if you are going to be doing this project again. So I'm going to save it as lip training and save. And that way you don't have to recreate this again if you choose to do this project again, okay? Now, my hope for you is that someone will see you wear this shirt and be like, oh, girl, I want to buy that shirt. Where'd you get that from? And then you just made a sale, okay? So you can be your own advertisement. All right. So what we're going to do now is I want you to go up to the operations, and we're going to change this from a basic cut to a print. So we're going to come down to print, then cut, and select standard. And you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to duplicate this, and that way you can keep the master before you go in and do all this stuff I'm about to tell you. So we're going to go to standard. And now that's going to change this to a print then cut and not just a cut file. Okay. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to be able to use a pattern. And you can only use patterns on a print and cut, not just a cut, okay? So you're going to click on the little question mark, which is your color, and you're going to select the drop down and select pattern. Now I can put any kind of pattern on what I just created. And of course, I don't want to do that, but I'm just showing you some patterns that are out here and what this will look like if you select a pattern. And I'm going to be using a pattern that I created, and I kind of sort of think I want that one. But you can use whatever you so choose. Now, one of the things that I tell people is you can always Google. So you can go to Google and you can type in backgrounds. And you can take, you know, snippets of backgrounds out here that you see that are really colorful. Like here's one here that would look really nice with that. This one would look really nice. And all you have to do to create a pattern, so look at these are awesome. All of these would go great with the image that we're working with or we just created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the snipping tool. So I'm just going to hit print screen, PRT space SC on my keyboard. If you have Snagit, you can snag it. If you have a snipping tool, you can use that. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little snippet here of this color. Excuse me. And I'm going to go over to Microsoft PowerPoint. I'm just going to pop that in just so that I can have it. And then I'm going to right click it and save as. And I'm going to put it in my patterns folder. And all I did was typed in background. This is my patterns folder. I'm going to go ahead and save it there. And now I'm going to go back over to Cricut Design Space. So this is the, excuse me, I'm going to duplicate this so you can see the difference here. All right, so now I'm going to click on Upload and go to Upload Pattern. I know we're normally used to using Upload Image, but you're going to click on Upload Pattern, Browse, and you're going to locate where you just put that pattern, that background. I got to learn how to spell early in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to go down and select my pattern folder. And I may have put it in the other one. Hold on one second. Don't be like me, because I just put this in the patterns folder and I know. Let me try this one again. Maybe I overlooked it. Okay. All right, let me go back to PowerPoint and see where this crazy thing saved. Save as. Oh, it went to my sublimation patterns. That's where it is. So Let me go back to browse. And I know I put it out here, so don't be like me, y'all. I have so many folders from showing you how to do things. So let's change it to desktop, and then I'm going to put it in my pattern folder. Stop coming up thing. Okay, so I'm going to select this one and open its picture 28. All right, so now I can go back to Cricut Design Space and browse. Go to my desktop, to my patterns folder. There it is. So I'm going to select that and open. And there's the pattern. You can add a name to it so you can find it easier next time, and then save the name. You can add a color code to it so you'll know exactly where, these patterns are in my blue folder, these are in my green, these are in my yellow. I don't do that, but anyway, I'm going to upload. And it's not going to show you that it's saved or anything, but it's there. So you just go ahead and hit cancel. And now when you go back to your desktop, you're going to click on that pattern or the print then cut for the color again, and you're going to locate that pattern, which is right here. So now you have that pattern added to your dope black girl, or whatever words you choose to go with. All right, so what I'm going to show you next is we're going to go up here and we're going to click on template, and we're going to type in t-shirt just as we said it. No spaces, no hyphens, no anything, but spell it right. Don't spell it like I did. And search. And I normally work with the classic t-shirt. And we're going to go here and say we're working with the women short sleeve, a large. And we're going to put this on black, see what it'll look like on a black t-shirt. So this is how you can take your image that you just created to see what it's going to look like on your different color shirts. So that's what that one would look like on our black shirt. If I was making this for someone, I would take a snippet of this at this point, or use your camera phone and take a picture of it. And then I would take this and snip that picture, and I would take it over to PowerPoint or somewhere that I can save it. And then I would send this to the person to get their yay or nay on their design before I would actually make the shirt. Okay, so that's one way that you can, show your work to someone before you make it, and then they say, no, it's not what I want. I want it blah, 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 blah. So that's what this one will look like on your t-shirt. And this is giving you an image of the front of your t-shirt and the back of your t-shirt, just in case you're going to have something on the front and the back. Okay, so you could do the dope black girl in that color, and then you can put it also there. Excuse me. All right, so what we're going to do now is, I think I'm going to use this one because I'm kind of feeling it. Okay, now because this is a print then cut, and I'm going to click over here on my t-shirt and hide it. But since we changed this to a print then cut, you're limited in Cricut Design Space as to a print and cut. And what I mean by that, you'll see this little triangle here. That's to let you know that your image is too large for a print then cut. Okay, So I'm going to show you what will happen if you duplicate this. Okay, come on, Cricut. If you go back and you change it and you say, uh-oh, it's too large for a print then cut, I'm going to change it back to a basic. That's what it's going to do. It's going to take away your coloring, your pattern, because remember, patterns don't work on a basic cut, okay? So you can do, excuse me, you can do a couple of things here, or I'm going to show you one thing that you can do to be able to still use this design and not have to worry about it, um, you know, taking away your color. Or you can just go ahead and reduce this down to a 6.75 by 9.25. So I could go here to my lot proportions here in between the width and the height, and I can do 6.75 by 9.25. And of course, that would be my image size right there. Okay, and then Cricut would allow you to do a print then cut, which means you would send this to your printer and then you would come back and put it in your cutting machine and your cutting machine would cut it for you. However, if you're deciding, let's say I want to sublimate this onto a t-shirt, then you don't have to worry about doing a print then cut from Cricut Design Space because you're not really going to be cutting it. You're only going to be sublimating it on your shirt. Then I would recommend so now I'm talking about if you're going to sublimate this, then what I would say if you want to do sublimation with this image, I'm going to take and hide this. Okay, so if you want to do sublimation, what I would say is just go ahead and print screen, because I'm going to show you how you can, you know, get a larger image. So you print screen. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in Microsoft PowerPoint. Microsoft PowerPoint. And then I'm going to right click and save as. I'm just going to put it on my desktop for right now. And it's up under picture 29 and save. Then you can go to remove BG. That's going to take away that background. So it's remove.bg. And you're going to upload that image that you just put on your desktop. Right here, open. And it's going to remove that background for you. So now you can take this and download it. It's going to put a little PNG file in the bottom left corner. You're going to click on it. And here's your image with the background removed. You're going to right click, save as. And we're just going to put it on our desktop. Anytime you remove a background, it's going to automatically put remove BG in the title. So all you need to do is save. Excuse me. So now if I go to Cricut Design Space, I can take and hide this and upload image, browse, and go back to my desktop, and I'm going to take the one with the background removed, open. I always select complex because I want to get all the fine details, and I'm going to click on continue. And we're not going to be removing anything, so we're going to go ahead and apply. And we're going to save this, excuse me. We're going to save it as a print then cut because we're talking about sublimation. So we're going to upload it. Okay, so Cricut did something. What did they do? Hold on one second. Let me make sure I selected the right one. Because Cricut should not take my design. Let's see if they tricked us now. All right. I'm just seeing if they've done anything there. So now they've done it where you cannot save this as a cut file. Okay, perfect. So what I would highly recommend then, since they have now managed to take away that, because once you save it as an image and remove the background, Cricut should not take your pattern away, but it looks like they are. So that's something new that they've started. So what you can do for sublimation is I would, because I would want this larger than a 6.75, 6.75 by 9.25. So I would snag this picture like I did and go over to Microsoft PowerPoint, and then I would print this from Microsoft PowerPoint. And the reason I say do it from a different software like Microsoft PowerPoint or Photoshop or anything like that is because then you can get it the size you want and you don't have to worry about any cutting because you don't really cut out all the white like this when you're doing sublimation. However, you do want to make sure that you go in and you click on picture format. This is if you're using Microsoft PowerPoint and you want to make sure that you rotate it, flip it horizontal because it's sublimation. So you do want to flip it. And then from here, you have a larger image that you can work with and you don't have to worry about the sizing like you do in Cricut Design Space. So that's one way to get around it in Cricut Design Space. If you're doing a t-shirt transfer, same thing. You could snag that picture that you just created, bring it over to Microsoft PowerPoint or some other software that you have on your computer that you can work with images. And then if you're doing a black t-shirt with fabric transfer, then you do not want to mirror this. So you would go picture, rotate, and rotate it right back. If you're doing a black t-shirt, and I'm going to put this black background on black so you would know what I mean. So let's say you're doing a black t-shirt and you would want to use the one where you remove the background. So let's get this out of here. So I'm going to go back and get the one that has the background removed. So I'm going to go to desktop and I'm going to select this one. And there we have our dope black girl. So if you're doing a fabric transfer on a dark color t-shirt, then you make this whatever size you want to make it, and then you do not mirror, okay? You do not mirror. However, if you're using a light color t-shirt, let's say yellow, and that may not be good to use yellow because you have yellow in this image. So let's see. We need a white color. All right, so I'm just going to say white. You're using a white t-shirt. Then you want to make sure that you do select picture format, rotate, and flip horizontal. White you mirror, or light you mirror, dark you don't. So this is on your dark fabric transfer. This is on your light fabric transfer. If you're going to be using vinyl and you're just going to have this cut out, if you're going to be using vinyl, then you want to go back to Cricut Design Space because I would not recommend doing it from PowerPoint if you need vinyl cut. So you would go back to Cricut Design Space and you would have to put this back down to your size that Cricut will allow you to use your vinyl. And what's going to happen then is you don't have to worry about the fact that you put this on a cut because you're using vinyl. So your image is going to come out whatever color your vinyl is. So you're not going to be restricted to sizing other than your 11.5 by 11.5 due to the sizing of your mat. So I would be able to go here and change this to 11.5. And I really wouldn't want it that big. I wouldn't want it all over my chest, but I'm going to say let's do 10. Let's do it 10 by 10. So let's unlock the proportions so I can type what I want. So I'm going to do a 10 and a 10. All right, so now we have this on a cut file. Doesn't matter that it took away our color, because if you're using vinyl, it's going to pick up the color of your vinyl. So now you would be able to take this and go ahead, and you want to make sure that you keep it all together. And so we're going to click on attach. You want to attach it, and that way when you click on make it, it's all, you know, in the order that it should be as one image. And so there's your dope black girl. So I'm going to put it on a different color just so you can see it better on this screen. But this is if you're going to do vinyl, guys. If you're using vinyl, then you want to make sure that, like I said, it doesn't matter what color you show here, because it's going to pick up the color of your vinyl. Okay, so there is your image there. And if you're using vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, you want to make sure you mirror. Okay, and then Cricut will cut that out for you in whatever color vinyl that you're going to be using. So that's the end of this video. I've shown you how to create a design in Cricut Design Space using fonts that you can get for free from dafont.com. I've also shown you how to create a pattern and how to just go and type in the word background. That's all I did, was type in background. And then I found some really colorful ones out here. And knowing me, I will probably go and snag each one of these because I really like backgrounds like this. And they even have more. So you can click on see more. So I've shown you how to find a background that you can work with, and then upload that background. As long as it's a free background, you can upload that background to Cricut Design Space as a pattern. So when you go to upload, you'll be selecting upload pattern and not upload image. And then I've also shown you how to use that free font for the lips inside Cricut Design Space instead of going to find some lips or clip art outside of Cricut Design Space. So everything I've shown you here, you can do for free. You can do for free. I haven't shown you anything that you have to pay for. Okay, you can do for free to create this really nice graphic image. And I'm probably going to do mine as sublimation because I'm really digging these colors. So I'm going to be doing, I'm going to show you which one I'm going to do. I'm going to be making this right here. This is what I'm going to be putting on a white sublimatable t-shirt. And I may even use a cotton shirt and just put something on the back that I can sublimate on, like a glitter vinyl or clear or matte vinyl. Okay, but I'm going to sublimate this on a t-shirt because I'm digging them colors. Okay. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hopefully I answer any questions in regards to how you can do the different types, because I know a lot of times I'll focus on sublimation or I'll focus on a fabric transfer in one video. But this one, I gave you so many options on how you can sublimate this image, how you can do it on fabric transfer, or how you can do it on vinyl. So I've given you 3 different ways that you can craft this design on a t-shirt: sublimation, fabric transfer, or vinyl. Okay. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you guys are currently in my Facebook group, Ken Dorsey's Cricut and Creative Crafters, I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me and following me on my Facebook journey. If you're not in my Facebook group and you would like to join us, my group is called Ken Dorsey's Cricut and Creative Crafters. We would love to have you. It is a private group, so you would have to send a group request to Ken Dorsey's Cricut and Creative Crafters, as you can see here on the screen. And one of the ways that you will know that it is my group is because I have a doll that I crocheted on the front. So you'll see this little crochet doll. But you want to make sure you're using Ken Dorsey's with the Ken Dorsey Cricut and Creative Crafters for it. And just send me a request and you can join us. We are almost at 1,000 members. It's not quantity is quality. Okay. All right. And then if you're currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, guys, thank you so much for following me on YouTube. If not, and you like my method of teaching, then please um, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like my method of teaching in this tutorial and you've gained some knowledge here, then please like this video, because the likes do help us to know, us creators to know that what we're doing is working for you. If you just watch the tutorials and you don't like it, then we don't know if it was a hit or miss for you. And sometimes drop us a comment, because I know me as a creator, I do respond to everybody unless it's negative comment, negative feedback, and then I don't respond because ain't nobody got time for that. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And you guys know my motto is each one reach one, so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day.